Warm-ups. It's something we all do in the sports or martial arts to help us keep from being injured and make sure our muscles are ready in case we're going to learn new drills or exercises. Today we're going to cover some of the drills and exercises I do with my students, and I thought I would share them with everyone out there. Stay tuned, we'll talk about it. Welcome to Shihan's Dojo. I'm Shihan Marty Husband, and I'm here today to help you build your martial arts skill and knowledge. Or if you're wanting to learn more about the martial arts, hopefully give you a little more information. So if you're here for the first time, jab that subscribe button and punch the bell so we can notify you when we have a new video coming out. The question for the day is, what favorite exercises do you like to do in your warm-up that you can share with everyone? That we might add something new to our warm-ups or understand how to better prepare when we're training. One of my former students out there asked me to do this video so he could remember some of the small minor drills that we did for karate warm-up. This is for you, Frank, but I thought I would share it with everyone and they can do whatever they want with it, however they want to look at it. I won't cover all the warm-ups because some of the warm-ups that we normally do, most of you out there already do. We will do this a little bit differently today. I'll show you on the screen what's going on and basically comment in the background so you don't have to see my face while you're trying to examine the drill. And I also move around quite a little bit on there. You'll notice some flaws in this because there's a couple spots where my head or arm gets cut out. I went past the green screen the wrong way. Yes, I use a green screen. Some of these exercises you'll recognize and maybe you'll do a little differently at your schools. That's okay. But I wanted to try to give you an explanation of why and how I perceive that a person should warm up their body.
Now, I usually start by using the joint mobility factors by using your head and start loosening up and move myself all the way down to the legs. As you can see here, I'm starting to rock my head back and forth and in a big circle in the other direction, and I'll turn my head left to right to make sure I can get the full mobility and range and there's nothing hurting. Then I start beginning to work on my shoulders. First I'll spin my shoulders front to back, and then I'll do an opposite hand twist to make sure my arms are working against each other properly. Then I turn my shoulders a little bit and make sure I'm really loose by going backwards to set up for doing arms up and down. Now these arms up and down, they're basically just to get the extension in your shoulder, not really a stretch. Now we do punches side to side. Side to side allows us then to work on the hips because we're working our way down. Get these hips going, that warms us up so we don't have to worry too much about our turning action and our punches and that there. Now I go around and use my upper body, making sure it's warmed up there in the hip area again by pushing it out and then back, out and back. It kind of gives it a start to stretch everything out. As I bend backwards, this is to basically stretch out my abs and groin muscles and go down and touch the ground to loosen up my lower back in there for the vertebrae there. Next, I'll start doing crescent kicks to the outside. This crescent kick starts working the hips, and then I'll do them on the inside. That does the exact same thing. It's just warming up the hips in a different angle and using different muscles that you need to use. I'll also start now by doing different types of leg raises. First one I'm doing here is basically a front, as you can see. I prefer to step forward when I'm doing that because it gives you a natural body mobility that you don't often think about. So make sure you always do both sides on this. It's very important that they get the same equal treatment on both legs to feel it warming up. Back leg raises will go here. And as the back leg raises are coming up, you'll work both legs again with that, as well as the side kicks that will be prevalent for the most part when we're working with them. So these are just stretching exercises. They're not kicks themselves, but it's setting you up so your joints will work properly with that. One thing I do that I'm not going to show here is basically I wait to do my splits and all of that until after I've done my warm-ups such as shifting, shadow boxing, or running. It's highly recommended that you wait till your body's warmed up before you actually start doing the splits, and then cool down with the splits when you're doing it. Now we're doing the opposite jacks. These opposite jacks are what we use to practice contralateral action. Now contralateral action is used in your reverse punching when your hips and feet are going opposite to each other. It's also used when you're walking because the opposite foot and opposite hand go. So therefore you're trying to do a natural body movement. Of course, now I'm getting ready to do sit-ups. You can do 100 different types of sit-ups, but I prefer doing a punching sit-up simply because it allows me to get some workout with my arms before I get going. Then there are lots of variations of this, but I feel planks are probably some of the most important strengthening exercises you can do. I suggest if you work on different types of planks and see how they help you depending on your body type and what you need to do with them. From here, I basically then will go into a stretch to make sure my legs are all ready before I shadow box or run or anything like that. And I turn my body so I'm pulling on that hip backwards and almost like doing a flying side thrust kick, but I'm getting pressure against that hip trying to push my head towards the ankle. Next, I'll slide that leg up real close to my body, and I'm moving here so you can see what's going on. I'm putting the other foot on top. I'll then lay back down on the ground and try to let the knees push, so that'll twist on the hips a little bit more on the outside so I can get them a little more loosened up before I have to use them. On the next part, I just simply go and do the same thing with my legs stretching there, and I do the back one again there, trying to make sure my head's going back, and then I will slide it up. I'll shorten it up here and slide it up for you so you can see I'm doing the exact same thing here. So you lay back and let yourself, I'd say, stay there 15 to 20 seconds each time. Now, if you're wondering when should you go ahead and do certain things, at this point you're ready for your actual warm-up, and this is where I normally started. However, I do like to do hand exercises sometimes, especially since I do a lot of jiu-jitsu and judo. This allows me to keep my joints in my wrists and arms working. I also put my hands together with the arms are parallel to the ground and push the wrists back. You can do them for a little longer than I'm doing here. Then I point the hands forward to do the same exact thing and down as far as I can the other way.
I hope this has been some help, and maybe that you can use some of these drills in your own warm-ups. Many of these things have different purposes that you might need or find useful in your own systems. Just remember, no matter what you do, always work the proper muscle groups. A lot of people who are kicking don't work their hips enough, or if they're great punching, they don't work their shoulders and upper body enough. So you need to make sure they're warm, either by shadow boxing, shifting around. That's something I highly recommend that we didn't cover in this video. So if you like this video, push like there and tell your friends about it. Share these things out there so we can let Shihan's Dojo grow bigger. And don't forget to answer the question of the day: what's your favorite exercise that you like to do in your warm-ups? And also give us questions, ideas, things that you would like to see on this channel that we can help you with. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can, or possibly start looking into creating a video for you. So just leave a comment down there if you so wish. And we hope to see you again here soon on Shihan's Dojo.